kiss for you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my another video on Android app development. And so guys, this will be the part 7 of my video series on use app using Retrofit in Android Studio. Alright guys, so in my previous video and the last of the video, I had shown you the running stage of our app, and it was running very well. We were successfully we we successfully tried to display all the data sources from the API. This from you can see this method with this get uh, query. So after this, what we are going to do is, so now if we click on any of the data source, so we need to fetch all the articles on in that data source. Okay, so it means that we will have another API for it. So we need to access the API, and we need to pass the response. So you just need to follow me and do whatever I am doing. Alright, so let's begin. So first of all, let's go to our adapter, and you can see source adapter, and there we need to have the method on click listener for our item view, because we want to, if we want to click on any of the items, so then we can display another activity, the data of the relevant data source. So for this we can say item view dot set on click listener, and then we can say new on click listener. Okay, so now whenever we click on any of the item, this method will be called. And now here we need to fetch the arrays, I mean we need to fetch the object of this uh, source object. Okay, so how can we do that? So we can say source item equal to, and from there we can say what is the name, source list dot get, and inside that we can say get adapter position. Okay, so now we have this position, and after this what we are going to do, we need to open another activity. So in order to, we need to create another activity here. So let's create a new package name, and we will put that into this. Okay, so here we can say activities. Sorry guys, this was mistaken. So we can refactor and click on rename, and there we can pass activities, and there we can create a new activity, and we need to create an empty activity for this, and there we can rename the activity as list stack activity, and we need to click on finish, and there you can see that we have this activity which we want to open on the click of each item. So for this we can simply say, and also we need to find the ID of the data source, because we need the ID in our API key. I will tell you the API URL, but right now let's just send the ID to our next activity, and we can find the ID from this source item object. So how we can do? So we can say intent equal to new intent, and then here we can pass our context, and then we can say list stack activity dot class, and then we can say intent dot put extra, and then we can have the name as source ID, then we can say source item dot get ID, and as we are opening this activity inside our adapter, so we can set a flag. So we can say intent dot add flag, and there we can say intent dot flag activity new task, and then we can say context dot start activity, and inside this we can pass our intent object. Okay, so now we are sending the id to our this list tag activity. So now we need to work on this list tag activity in this video. So we have this activity class. So the first thing is you need to you need to first of all write the code for your XML, because you need to bind them later in your Java class. So here we can say that we have a frame layout. I know that it can be difficult for you, but I am making sure that I uh, make sure that you understand that why I am doing this. Okay, so if you have any issue, you can comment down below and I will answer you as soon as possible. Alright, so after this frame, inside this frame layout, so let's okay, so there is we have an attribute. So there we need to make sure that the clip children is set to false, and then we inside this frame layout we need to have a swipe stack. So we can say swipe stack, and it will be match parent and height will be wrap content. Then we need to set the gravity to center, and we need to set the padding to 30 dp. Okay, so that will be our swipe stack. And after this swipe stack we need to use some image view. So for this we first of all need to set it inside our relative layout. So let's have a relative layout, and it will be match parent and match parent. Then we can set the id to relative layout no found. Okay, so basically after every after we swipe right or left the all the articles, then if there are no articles left, so then we can display a layout. So that's why we have used this relative layout, and we need to set its visibility to gone. And after this inside our relative layout we need to have a linear layout, and it will be 180 dp, and its height will be wrap content. Then we need to set the center in parent to true. Then we need to set the gravity to center, and then we need to set the orientation to vertical. And after this linear layout we are going to have the image view, and then it will be 100 dp. Then we need to use the tint, and it will be color primary. Then we can say okay, so I think we don't need IC finding page. So let me see if we have. Let's click on image asset, and from there you need to find, click action bar and tab, and from there find in page, and we need to click on next and finish. Okay, so here we can have source drawable IC, find in page, okay, so I think it is IC action name. So we can say IC action name, and after this we are going to have a text view, and it will be wrap content and wrap content. Then we can say margin top to 15 dp, then we can say text no article found, and then we can say text color, it will be color black, and then we can say text style, it will be bold. Okay, that was it. So now we need to go back to our main activity, but we need the set the ID of our swipe stack, and it will be swipe stack. All right, so now we need to go back to our list list track activity, and then we can say okay. So first of all we need to implement, and we need to write swipe stack dot swipe stack listener, and then we need to implement the methods on view swipe left. So here click on alt enter and click implement all the methods, and these three are the methods for our swipe stack. And so first of all we need to bind our view, so here we can say bind view, and then we have the swipe stack, then we can say swipe stack, and after this we can say r dot id dot relative layout no found, and we can say relative layout no found, and then we need to bind our views, so we can say butter knife dot bind, and we can pass this, and then we need to have a function init, and inside this we can say private void init, and here inside this initialization, so first of all we also need to have the API interface here, so we can say API interface, and we can say API interface equal to API client dot get API client dot create, and then we can say API interface dot class. Okay, this is the way of initializing our singleton API interface class, API interface interface, and then we need to have another array list. So now here we can say list of type article. Okay, so for this we need to have the model. So first of all we just create the array list, and then here we can say array list article equal to new array list, and for this article we will implement it. Okay, so now it is giving us an error, and okay guys, so I think that is enough for this video. We will continue in our next part of the video. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and goodbye.